Welcome Gemini to your in-depth monthly forecast for August 2024 for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. I'm going to share the event chart right at the start of the month shortly on screen, but before I do, I just want to tell you about a very special opportunity. If you order your unique personal horoscope for year 2025 now, I'll give you the rest of year 2024 free, plus you'll get 30% off and also your life roadmap report. Please see the link beneath this video so you can check this out. If you know your tropical astrology really well, why not check out my draconic version? Same offer, the rest of this year free, all of 25, plus your draconic character analysis, and also 30% off. On the screen now, I'm sharing the event chart right at the start of the month. What we can take from this is that Mars, Jupiter and the Moon are all in your sign. So that's given you enormous encouragement to really manifest your individuality. But there are some challenges as well as some huge opportunities right at the start of August. The opportunity is that Mars and Jupiter are going to come slowly but surely together. That's going to be exact on the 14th of this month, but they're really going to supercharge you to really direct your thrust towards something that you can feel really personally invested in. So very much you need to be at the heart of things. But right at the start of the month, there is a square between the Moon in your sign and the dreamy, drifting Neptune. And some think about your professional situation or worldly interaction, or ironically, some think about your home situation may just not be creating quite the perfect conditions to put your foot to the floor in the way that Mars and Jupiter would really like you to be able to do. The reason for this is Neptune in the 10th house means that you could need to connect with people in positions of influence, but the information that you're seeming to get back may not be particularly clear. Also Saturn, also in Pisces, along with Neptune, that's squaring up with Jupiter. Jupiter's very much about self-confidence. Saturn's very much about where we feel restraint. Perhaps it's someone that you're interacting with who doesn't quite get the magic of some of your ideas. But equally, because Mars in your sign is squaring up with your ruler Mercury, which is in the other sign it rules of Virgo and in its pre-retrograde shadow as we enter this month, it may be your personal home or family circumstances which aren't quite creating the conditions to move forwards at quite the pace you would like. So on the face of it, it looks incredibly bright and exciting for you, that combination of energy in your sign, but it just suggests that you may need to inch your way into the opportunities. But there could be someone that you're connected to, a friend, who can be very helpful and very supportive to you. Now that's because the North Node forges a brilliant link to the Sun. The Sun in Leo is in its home sign, but in the third house for you, it's very redolent of the energy of Gemini. It's about sharing ideas. But that North Node position that the Sun's linking to suggests your instincts around certain connections, even if you're experiencing some blockages, delays or frustrations from some people, there can be others who really totally receive what you're saying in a very aligned way. Also, there's a beautiful link between the Moon and Chiron. If there is something that you want to talk about with someone that's very personal, there's someone in your circle of friends who can actually be quite the asset. But then again, it may be your sensitivity and supportiveness that's going to be important too. Just be aware, however, that with Uranus, the planet of surprises, of restlessness, of independence, still tucked up in your 12th house and in a clash with Venus as we come into this month, rushing anything, particularly around your interactions in terms of romance, is not going to be in your best interest. So that gives you a flavour of how things are set as we come into the month. But the positive side of it is the Sun is in a great link with Mars through week 1. So if there is something that you really feel very clear about, and you're not going to let these outside restraints or people in some ways not quite getting what you're trying to do or damning you with faint praise, if you really believe in what you want to do, there can be some traction to be gained. Also on the 4th, we have the new moon in the sign of Leo, which for you helps you to showcase your ideas, your brilliance, your sparkle, your effervescence over the following month. But it's also linking to Jupiter in your sign. So once again, the opportunity to be very individualistic is giving you a platform to showcase this, as long as you're aware that there could be some restraints. Now on the 5th, Venus moves out of Leo and into the sign of Virgo. It's not its best location, to be honest, and Mercury, your ruler, on the same day goes into its retrograde. Now Mercury retrograde in the 4th house could mean that if you've got some contractors due to come in and to do some work for you, perhaps there's going to be some delays or glitches. And if you are thinking about your family relationships, it could be a good time to actually have a further think about something that has felt stuck. We all know that Mercury retrograde can cause some glitches, but it definitely has some opportunities, not least by the 8th, when Venus and Mercury align brilliantly. So if you have been thinking about that new business, something working from home, or taking what has been a hobby up until now and shaping it into something new, that can be a great platform too. And the effervescence of Jupiter applying to the Sun goes on through to the 11th, peaking on the 9th. So your ideas can gain currency, but I feel that that Mercury retrograde and Venus moving into Virgo again is asking you to check out that things feel right, which is perfectly understandable. I think if there has been a snag, try to take this in your stride. Try to be philosophical. I have a friend, a psychic, who's a Gemini, and she often says that rejection can be protection. So if something doesn't work out, there is a bigger reason. And you have an opportunity by the Mercury Cazimi of the 19th to frame your ideas in a much clearer way, even if it means that you've had to flex and just adapt in some way, which is often the case when Mercury retrograde does apply. But by the 19th, we have a full moon in your sister air sign of Aquarius. So this is an opportunity to talk something through, but you may find that something that's been bugging you just in the background of your situation could come into the open over the last 2 weeks of this month and just into the start of September as well. And that's because the full moon is in a T-square with Uranus. So if you've been feeling very frustrated, not heard, the chance for you to really say how you feel is provided at this juncture of the month. On the 22nd, however, the Sun moves into Virgo too. Now, the Sun in Virgo is a really good thing in a way because it gives us a chance just to pause. There's been a lot of frenetic energy in the 3rd house, and the thrust of Mars and Jupiter in your sign really making you very determined. Now's the chance to just take a breath, let things just settle and percolate through you. Also on the 28th, Mercury, your ruler, goes direct in Leo. The 29th, however, sees Venus move into your 5th house. And as it does, it forges a quite magical link to Pluto. You're going to find out something by the end of this month about how someone feels about you. It could be around a romantic situation, but it equally could be around a creative opportunity that's linked to publishing or knowledge or higher education. Your ability to work with people very skillfully, which is definitely a big part of your nature. You can flex, get on with lots of different types of people. So even if you do encounter some stodgy characters this month, either professionally or in your home or emotional or family situation, by the end of August, Gemini, can absolutely assure you, you get a great chance to really compel people with the power of your personality. But it will be important as the month comes to a close, with the sun moving into the sign of Virgo, that things feel right. But if you're wanting to change something about where you live, whether it's redecoration or whether it's moving altogether, that's going to be a really important juncture for you. It's been a real pleasure being with you. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. About 50% of people who watch my videos are not subscribers. Please help the channel to grow by clicking that sub button and also that bell notification symbol. And please check out that special offer below.